Good afternoon and welcome back to the Beacons Broadcasting Network. John Scooters here, getting set to bring you Game 2 of the doubleheader between UMass Boston and Keene State. Without further ado, let's get you the starting lineup for Ken Howe's Keene State College Owls. Leading things off and playing left field, it'll be Devin Springfield. Batting second, the catcher, Nate Rossi. Batting third in right field, Connor Walsh. The first baseman and cleanup hitter is Abe Granger. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Christian Borgier. Batting sixth, David Sevigny. Batting seventh, Tyler Gamey. Batting eighth, Connor Longley. And batting ninth, Max Struthers. They will be opposed by the right-hander Fernando Burgos. Fernando's been outstanding again this year for Brendan Igerbrode's Beacons. On the campaign, Fernando 6-0 with a 2.70 ERA. This will be his ninth appearance, eighth start. He does have one save. 36 and two-thirds innings, given up 34 hits, 11 runs, all of them earned, 30 strikeouts, and 16 walks. The defense behind him is the same as in Game 1. From left to right in the outfield, Anthony Cesare, Sal Frascino, Nick Herzog. And in the infield, Eddie Riley at third, Charlie Hughey at short, Dave Murphy at second, Chris Fowler at first. The only difference, it says Jack Harrington on there. If I'm not mistaken, it is indeed Ryan McCormick. There it is. We had the wrong one up there. As Wanderson Pinales is in center field, Herzog in right, Cesare in left, Ryan McCormick and Fernando Burgos, the battery mates. We've got it together. Burgos is ready to go. It will be, of course, the leadoff hitter, Devin Springfield, leading it off. In Game 1, the Beacons won 3-1, held the Owls to just 2 hits. With it, they got their program record 14th straight win. They also have extended their winning streak over the Owls to 8 games and 10 of their last 11. And also and continued their undefeated string in the LEC. They've won 8 of 8 this year against conference opponents. Leadoff hitter is Devin Springfield. Springfield hitting .337 on the year. 12 extra base hits, including 2 bombs, 17 driven in. In Game 1, Devin struggled, though. He was 0 for 4 with strikeout and 3 groundouts to first. All 3 unassisted plays by Fowler. First pitch from Fernando's on the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, and that misses away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Springfield. 1-1 pitch. That one is, wow, called a strike, and I agree with Springfield. That one was outside. Beacons get the call. If that's going to be the way all day, this might be a quick game, because that one was maybe half a foot outside. Here's the 1-2 pitch. A little bit low. Checked his swing. No way you're going to win an appeal at first base on that, and so 1 ball and 2 strikes. Burgos' windup, the 2-2. That one slapped to the left side. Moving back is Cesare to make the play. 1 down here in inning number 1. Brings up Nate Rossi. Rossi hit .316 coming in, 2 bombs, 18 driven in. In Game 1, he was 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch, a couple of flyouts, and a ground out. Fernando's first pitch is low. 1 ball and no strikes. One 1-0 pitch right down the middle, 1-1 to Rossi. Men's lacrosse team lost 20-10 to Keene State. Dartmouth is out in front of the softball team 5-1 in the bottom of the 6th. That one is right down the middle, 1 ball and 2 strikes. From the windup, the 1-2 breaks away, 2-2 to Rossi. For the softball team, Kelly Danahy, 2 for 3 with a couple of RBI now, as the Beacons have actually just scored 2 more in the 6th to cut the deficit down to 5-3. Here's the 2-2. Way outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Owls catcher. The 3-2. That one grounded to the right side for a base hit. So the Owls had just 2 hits in Game 1 against Morin, McGuire, and Tremendozzi. They get their first hit of Game 2 with 1 out in the first against Burgos.
The first baseman, number 48, Connor Walsh.
Brings up Connor Walsh, the first baseman. Walsh batting from the right side, hitting .309 coming in with 9 extra base hits and 16 driven in. It was 0 for 4 in Game 1 as the first pitch is cut on and missed, nothing in 1. Walsh had a strikeout, pop out, a ground out, and a double play ground out. 0-1 pitch cuts away. 1 ball and 1 strike. One. Mighty hack at a 2-seam fastball up around the letters. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fernando from the stretch. The 1-2. Ground ball shortstop. Hughie right in front of Riley makes the nice play. Eddie has to scramble back to third or else Rossi would have made a mad dash. 2 down on a 6-3 putout. Runner at second is Rossi, and it brings up Abe Granger.
Baseman, number 21, Abe Granger.
That was a great play from Hughie. He's made a couple of them today. He and Riley were converging on that ball at the same time. Dangerous play for both of them, but Charlie called off Eddie, made the play. Brings up Abe Granger. Granger in Game 1 was 0 for 2. Popped out, flew out, and walked twice. He also scored the only run of the game for the Owls after walking in the second. There's another pitch off that left side of the plate that gets called a strike. Granger didn't like it. It's 0-1. Brandon Heath will be the starting pitcher for the Owls. We'll get you more on him next half inning. The 0-1. Cut on and missed with a curveball way out in front. It's 0-2. Heath, a 6'1" right-handed junior who has pretty good numbers so far this year, though the peripherals leave a little to be desired. More on that in a bit. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Good block there. Getting down to make the play was Ryan McCormick, the catcher today. McCormick started Game 1, was replaced by Jack Harrington in the 8th inning. Ryan had an RBI single in the 3-1 win. Here's the 1-2. Ground ball foul up the first base line. Owls have a runner in scoring position on a 1-out single by Nate Rossi. He advanced on the 6-3 ground out by Connor Walsh. Burgos coming into play with an undefeated record. Looking to keep that going here on a Saturday afternoon in Boston. A lot of undefeated streaks going here for the Beacons. Here's a 1-2. That one grounded foul. Of course, they've won 13 in a row, or 14 in a row now after the Game 1 win. They've won 8 in a row against Keene State, dating back a couple of years. They are undefeated in the conference at 8-0, and Fernando Burgos is undefeated. 1-2 pitch coming now from Burgos to Granger. 1-2. Slap foul off the screen. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes again coming from Fernando. Having to throw a few more pitches than JT Morin did back in the first inning of Game 1, who went 1-2-3. Although JT ran into trouble in the second, he was smooth sailing from there on out. Fernando gets his sign. The 1-2 pitch coming to Granger, and he slaps another foul, this time up the third base line and into the Owls' dugout. Fernando ready from the stretch. The 1-2, that's in the dirt. Another block from McCormick. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Abe Granger. Wind still blowing from left to right. A little bit more out towards the right field wall. As time was called by Granger with Fernando in the middle of his windup. Pitchers don't like that. All right, now the focus for Burgos is getting out of this first inning. Owls would love to get a first inning run on the board. Here is a 2-2 pitch. Way outside. McCormick with another block as he had to lunge out there. That's now the 3rd or 4th time here that Fernando's missed way outside to a right-handed hitter in the first inning. Payoff pitch coming. The 3-2 popped up, and this should get him out of the inning. Pinales coming in, and he will make the play to retire the side. So the Owls get a hit, but no one crosses the plate. We are through 1/2 inning from Monin Park. The Owls and the Beacons on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
The 5-campus UMass system is the university that educates the workforce of Massachusetts. We recognize that we are truly here for a reason, and that recognition inspires us and drives us every single day.
We head to the bottom of the first inning. No score. Owls and the Beacons, as the Beacons will send out the same lineup from Game 1. Let's give you the lowdown on Brendan Igerbroth's starting lineup. Leading off, playing third base, it'll be Eddie Riley. Batting second, playing DH is Kyle Boudris. Batting third, playing second is Dave Murphy. Batting fourth, the first baseman Chris Fowler. Batting fifth, the catcher Ryan McCormick. Batting sixth in left field, Anthony Cesare. Batting seventh in right field, Nick Herzog. Batting eighth in center field, Wanderson Pinales. And batting ninth at shortstop, Charlie Hughey. They will face off against 6'1" right-hander Brandon Heath, a junior from Charleston, New Hampshire. Heath is perfect, just like Burgos. He's 4-0 in 7 appearances. This will be his third start, with a 3.30 ERA. I was mentioning the peripheral numbers. That 4-0, 3.30 looks pretty good, but you look at the peripherals. In 30 innings, he's given up 27 hits. Not too bad, but just 11 strikeouts and 9 walks in 30 innings. That is a strikeout-to-walk ratio that is not going to lend itself to success against a Beacons lineup that is patient and also powerful. So we'll see if the Beacons can exercise those strengths and get to Brandon Heath here early. The first batter to face him will be Eddie Riley. Riley in Game 1 went 0 for 3. He walked in the first inning and scored, but then he went strikeout, fly out, pop out to end his afternoon. Coming into play, though, Eddie was hitting .333. First pitch is right there, 0-1. Right-handed hitter against the right-handed pitcher, Brandon Heath. Breaking ball away. 1-1 to Riley. One pitch. That one's jammed. Popped up, foul. It's going to land behind us, or in front of us, but to our right. And out of play. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Another one in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Riley. Kyle Boudreaux waiting on deck. Kyle, one of the hottest hitters in this Beacons lineup. So he had another base hit, another couple of hits in game 1. As that one is a 2-2, missing outside with a 2-seamer. Now, for the second consecutive game, Eddie Riley has worked a 3-2 count in his first at-bat. Was able to walk to lead off game 1. Here's a 3-2, and he swings and misses on a fastball. Struck him out. Good pitch there from Heath. 1 down for Boudreaux. Kyle came into play today, hitting .327, 24 driven in. He was our player to watch this afternoon and had 2 hits in game 1, a single and a double, also scored a run. Took that curveball for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Ground ball second base. Coming on over is Bourgier. Gobbles it up and fires over for the second out. 4-3 on the putout. 2 down for Murphy. Dave has been scuffling a little bit over the last couple of games, at least by his reputation. No homers in his last 5, and in game 1 he went 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch. He flew out to center field twice and popped out to second. Here's the first pitch to Murphy. Inside and low, 1-0. Heath coming in at 4-0 overall. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball. That one misses low. 2-0 to Murphy. Of course, as I said, Heath doesn't get a lot of strikeouts. 11 in 30 innings. He strikes out the leadoff hitter. Here's the 2-0. Another curveball. That one hits its mark. 2 balls and 1 strike. Chris Fowler is on deck. Should Murph continue the inning, the 2-1. That one a fastball on the inside corner. Murphy drives up the third base line. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Murphy. From the windup, here is the 2-2, way out in front of a changeup, and the inning is over. So Heath came in with 11 strikeouts in 30 innings. He gets 2-1 against UMass Boston. We are through 1 from Monin Park. It's no score, Beacons and the Owls.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris. The subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
Fernando Burgos back out there here for the second inning. In the first inning, Fernando gave up a 1-out single to Nate Rossi, but was able to strand him at second after a ground out to short from Walsh and a pop out to shallow center field by Granger. It'll be 5, 6, and 7. Christian Bourgier, who made a pinch hit appearance in game 1, followed by Sevigny and Tyler Gammy, the designated hitter who did not play in game 1. Bourgier, on the season, came in hitting just 182. He's now 4 for 23 and has a home run and 4 driven in. Wind picking up a little bit, moving left to right. Those flags whipping around out in the right field. As the Philadelphia native in me taking a peek at the Philadelphia 76ers Miami Heat game, 28-28, early second quarter. Never more distraught than when I found out that was a 2:30 start. on a Saturday. Not often I get to see my teams as I'm usually broadcasting others. And this is another tale of that. Here's the first pitch to Borgier from Fernando. Misses low with a fastball. It's 1-0. As mentioned, Christian did come in Game 1 for a cameo appearance. As the 1-0 pitch is slapped foul up the third base line. Out of play. Heads up to those walking by the lacrosse game. The BC High lacrosse game that they are currently in the midst of out there. Borgier was hit by a pitch and stranded at third his only time up in Game 1 as that one's grounded up the first base line. Fowler on the second hop will retire Borgier 3 unassisted. 1 down here in the second for David Sevigny. David in Game 1 was 0 for 2. Grounded out, struck out, and walked. On the season, Sevigny came in hitting .269. 6 extra base hits, 16 driven in. The 0 pitch is slapped to right center field. That's dropping fast. That's a base hit in front of Herzog. So the second hit of the game. So they've already matched their hit total from a game ago as the Keene State Owls have a 1-out base runner for the second straight inning for Tyler Gammy. Gammy hitting .250. He's 10 for 40. It's his 17th game, 10th start. He's got 5 RBI. As that one misses low, I suppose, 1-0. Sevigny on the season does have 2 steals in 2 attempts, so they'll keep an eye on him at first. 1-0 pitch way outside and low, 2-0. Beacons trying to clinch the regular season LEC title this year after winning the tournament last year. That one missed just low, and it's now 3-0 to Gammy. Beacons are in good shape right now, having an 8-0 start to the season in conference. That one, a 3-0 fastball, hits the outside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike. (3-1). Pulling that one back on the fake bunt and missing was Gammy. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Elsewhere in the LEC in Game 1, UMass Dartmouth beat WestCon 4-1. In a battle of teams that had yet to win in the LEC going in, Dartmouth now is 1-7, WestCon is 0-8. 3-2. That one misses low and away, so ball 4. So a single followed by a walk puts 2 men on base here in the second inning for Connor Longley.
The left fielder, number 34, Connor Longley.
Meanwhile, of perhaps more importance to the Beacons, Plymouth State with an upset victory over Southern Maine in Game 1 of that doubleheader, 7-2. So Southern Maine is now 3 games back of UMass. And just as important, perhaps, with a doubleheader looming next week, Rick and EastCon are tied at 12-12 in the bottom of the 9th inning from EastCon. So if EastCon wins that game, the Beacons will have a full 3-game lead on first place in the Little East Conference. Here's the 0-1 to Longley inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. In Game 2 between Dartmouth and WestCon, UMass is ahead 4-1, so they are on the verge of potentially sweeping WestCon and firmly securing the Colonials in the bottom of the LEC standings. Here's the 1-1. That 2-seamer hits the inside corner, 1-2. Plymouth State Southern Maine Game 2 just getting underway. And, of course, Rick and EastCon will play Game 2 once Game 1 ends, currently headed to extra innings, tied at 12. Here's the 1-2, and that one grounded to the left side. Riley gobbles it up, takes the easy play at second. On to first! What a gun from Murphy as he retires the side. 5-4-3 on the twin killing. So Longley ends the inning with the double play, and Burgos gets himself out of another jam. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Still no score between Keene and UMass Boston.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Brandon Heath back out on the rubber here for inning number 2. He'll face the 4th, 5th, and 6th batters in the lineup, beginning with Chris Fowler, Ryan McCormick, then Anthony Cesare. Heath, who came in with 11 strikeouts in 30 innings, 11 strikeouts and 9 walks, struck out 2 and walked 0 in inning number 1. Both those strikeouts swinging as well. Fowler will lead off against him. Chris in game 1 went 2 for 3. RBI single in the first, ground out to second in the third, a walk in the 5th, and a single in the 7th. Chris batting from the left side, steps in.
Chris Fowler.
From the wind-up, first pitch from Heath. That one is low. 1 ball and no strikes to Chris Fowler. One-0 pitch, breaking ball right there, 1-1. 'Another good pitch. That one hits the inside corner. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Fowler as Heath continues to really show pinpoint control early on, especially with the 2-seam fastball. He's hitting the corners and getting the Beacons to take those pitches, but Fowler's so good the opposite way. Laces a base hit to left center, and he's going to take advantage of the outfield playing deep and stretch that into a double. So Chris Fowler's 3rd hit of the doubleheader. It's his first extra base hit of the day. And it's a leadoff double for the Beacons' All-American first baseman. Brings up Ryan McCormick. Beacons' backstop was 2 for 4 in game 1. Couple of singles, including an RBI. Ryan came in hitting .355. Here's the first pitch to the catcher, up and away. Fowler at second base, McCormick at the dish. Nobody out here in the second as that one is up and away as well. 2-0 to Ryan McCormick. Cesare on deck, Herzog in the hole. Breaking ball, that one low. 3 balls and no strikes to McCormick. .3-0 pitch coming. That one just hits the inside corner. 3-1. McCormick taking all the way. Beacons, just like in game 1, would love to put a couple of runs on the board here in this second inning. Beacons got off to a good start in game 1 before holding on the rest of the way. They scored 2 runs early. Gave up a run to Keene, but held on by tacking an insurance run on in the 6th and winning it 3-1. Here's a payoff pitch coming. The 3-2. Slap to the left side. Coming on in and making the play is the left fielder, that being Springfield, 1 down. Cesare steps in for the first time here in Game 2.
Fielder number 11, Anthony Cesare.
Gangsta's Paradise being his walk-up music. A little bit of an upgrade from McCormick's. Here's the first pitch, swung on and missed, 0-1. Anthony in Game 1 went 1 for 3, singled in the 4th inning. He struck out and grounded out as well. Came in leading the team in hitting. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. Mighty hack from Cesare. It's 0-2. Best hitter in Game 1 was probably Wanderson Pinales, who only got 3 at-bats in center field and then 1 in right as time was called immediately before the pitch was thrown. Looked like strike 3, too, so Heath can't be too pleased. Pinales in Game 1 reached base all 4 times. Here's the 0-2. That one fouled off the screen. He singled twice, doubled, and was hit by a pitch. Heath out of the stretch takes a peek back at Fowler. The 0-2 is sky to right center field. Shielding the sun and moving to his right is Longley. He makes the play. Fowler tagging up, and he'll reach third rather easily. Now 2 outs here in the 2nd inning. Brings up Nick Herzog, right fielder here for Game 2. Nick in Game 1 went 0 for 3. Had a sacrifice, 2 groundouts, and a flyout.
The right fielder, number 34, Nick Herzog.
First pitch from Heath is in the dirt. Good block there from Rossi with Fowler at third base. Chris looking for any opportunity to come home and try to give the Beacons the early advantage here in Game 2. The 1-0, down and in, but over the plate, it's 1-1. Heath from the stretch, 1-1 pitch, back up the middle, under the glove of Heath. It's going to be a tough play. The throw is just in time to get Herzog and save a run. A bang-bang play at first. Good effort at shortstop to make the play, that being Max Struthers. And the inning is over with the Beacons stranding Fowler at third. We head to the third. It's still no score between the Beacons and the Owls.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Brandon Egerbrook does not like that call at first base. He was arguing with the base umpire. Now he's out to argue a little bit with the home plate umpire. And now he heads back to the dugout. Still in this game. Don't believe he was tossed. It was very close play, no doubt. Struthers' throw just barely, I think, beat Herzog, but it was bang-bang. And that's a huge play because if he doesn't get him there, then the run scores, and the Beacons have a lead. As it stands, he was out, and there's no score through 2 innings here from Game 2 of this doubleheader between the Keene State Owls and your UMass Boston Beacons from Monon Park. I'm John Scudris. Fernando Burgos is on the rubber as he gets set to toil through his 3rd inning. He'll have 9, 1, and 2, beginning with Max Struthers, who just made the play at short. Struthers in game 1 was 0 for 1 for 3. He actually did have the only RBI of the game, an RBI single in the second.
The shortstop, number 6, Max Struthers.
So Struthers steps in, came into play today, hitting .289. First pitch from Fernando, and another one misses outside to the right-handers. He's been missing a lot outside to righties today. The 1-0. That one back up the middle, a base hit. Off the glove of Murphy. Would have had no chance anyway. Charlie Hughie gets there quickly to prevent any sort of extension to second. And so it's a leadoff base runner on a single for Max Struthers. Brings up Springfield. 0 for 1 with a fly out to left.
The right fielder, number 35, Devin Springfield.
Double play depth up the middle. They're holding the runner on at first. Riley off the bag at third. Pickoff move was not in time. Fernando's given up 3 hits, 4 base runners, 1 time through the batting order. First pitch to Springfield, up and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Misses outside with a 2-seam fastball, and it's 2-0 to Springfield, who came in leading the team in hitting, 337, leading the team in extra base hits with 12, and tied for, sole possession of third, and RBI was 17 as he takes that one for a strike, 2-1. Springfield, a native of Jaffrey, New Hampshire. Here's a 2-1. That one's launched into deep center, but Pinales has a beat on it. Makes the play for the first out of the inning on a fly out to center field. Springfield's retired for the second time, and it brings up Nate Rossi. Rossi singled and was stranded at second his first time up.
The catcher, number 9, Nate Rossi.
Burgos back on the rubber, staring down Rossi, the opposing backstop, and a slider there, and that one was fouled off the screen. 0-1. Haven't seen that pitch a whole lot here through the first 11 hitters. Comes after Rossi with the off-speed pitch to open the at-bat. There's an 0-1. That one's a fastball right down the heart of the plate, 0-2. We've seen a lot of Keene pitchers attack the Beacons early in the count with breaking pitches. Didn't see JT Moore do a whole lot of it. We're starting to see Fernando do it. And he comes back with another breaking ball, and Rossi swung. And that is a strikeout, the second out of the inning. The first strikeout of the day for Fernando Burgos.
The first baseman, number 48, Connor Walsh.
So strikeout swinging for the second out. And that brings up Connor Walsh, who grounded out to short his first time up. Connor takes a mighty hack at a fastball, 0-1. Walsh. Then Abe Granger, the heart of the order here. They put the 9-hole hitter on to begin the third. But the 1 and 2 hitters, Springfield and Rossi, have been retired, 2 down. And that one fouled off the screen. 1 strike away from getting out of this jam is Fernando. Walsh back in the box. Burgos gets his sign from McCormick, takes a peek over at first, and comes home. The 0-2 way outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fernando ready. Now he steps off. Ian McCormick trying to get on the same page here in the third inning. Still no score. Game 2 of a doubleheader on what has been a perfect Saturday for it. The 1-2, that one is low and in, 2-2. And it's about time here in New England. We've grown tired of the winter weather, which seems to come and go as the days go by. Earlier this week, it was Marathon Monday, and it was raining and cold all day as that one slapped up the middle for a base hit from Connor Walsh. And it's first and second now with 2 down. Of course, we also had some snow this week in certain areas of the New England region. And now here we are. Rain and 30-degree weather on Monday, snow on Tuesday, and on Saturday, it's as picturesque as you can get. Brings up Abe Granger. Abe popped out to center field to end the first inning. He's now got a chance to drive in the first run of the game. Runner at second base is Struthers. The runner at first, Walsh. First pitch to Abe, and he hit him. Command continues to be an issue for the Beacons. Burgos thinks that Granger leaned into that one. But he's not going to win an argument here as the bases are loaded full of Owls. And Bourgier is the batter. Christian grounded out to first, his first time up. Hit by a pitch in game 1. A lot of batters hit today by both teams. I think the Beacons hit 3 or 4 batters in game 1. Taking a look at it now. 4 hit by pitch in game 1 by Beacons pitching, and now another one here in game 2. Good block by McCormick on a breaking ball. 1-0 to Bourgier. Bases full of Owls. Nowhere to put Bourgier. With 2 outs. The 1-0's inside, almost hit him to drive in a run. As the command troubles continue to bother Fernando Burgos here through the first 3 innings. Savigny is on deck. Beacons trying to get out of this without giving up a run. That one is low, and it's 3 balls and no strikes with the bases loaded and 2 outs. So now Bourgier is almost certainly going to have a red light here. Fernando could probably underhand it over the middle and get the strike as long as he hits this spot. But that has been a concern here. He gave up a leadoff single to Struthers, then got Springfield and Rossi, then gave up a single to Walsh and a hit by pitch to Granger, the 3-0, and that one barely hits the outside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike. Big pitch coming here from the stretch. The 3-1. That's there as well on the outside corner. So now Bourgier is going to have to be active with the count full, 2 outs. The runners will be off. With a full count pitch coming up. Burgos ready. The payoff pitch. Swung on and fouled. Just getting a piece of that was Bourgier, and that might have been a break because that one got way away, and trouble could have been brewing. 4 hits so far for Keene. They also have a walk and a hit batter, and yet still no runs. They stranded one runner in each of the first 2 innings, trying to avoid stranding 3. The 3-2, ground ball right side. Fowler flips to Burgos, and the inning is over. The Beacons have stranded 5 Owls through 3 innings, and the Keene State Owls strand the bases loaded here in the 3rd. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. No score, Beacons and the Owls.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it. it's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Head to the bottom of the third inning. Brandon Heath has pitched exquisitely through the first 7 batters. Gave up just 1 hit. It was a double for Fowler. Other than that, he's been pristine. A couple of strikeouts. He'll toil with 8, 9, and 1 here in the third. And it'll be Pinales, Hughie, and Riley. As I mentioned last inning, Wanderson had probably the best day of any Beacon Expedition Game 1. As he ended up getting 3 hits, 2 singles, a double, and also reached base on a hit by pitch. Pinales has been red hot, came in hitting .269, but that is rising. And he will lead things off here in inning number 3. Pinales, a native of Bonnie, Dominican Republic, was transferred from Western Oklahoma State College. I don't know a whole lot about Western Oklahoma State College, but former Sooner State resident, as that one is grounded foul behind the plate and off the screen. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. A little bit low with a breaking pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brandon Heath from the windup, the 1-1. That one is low, bounced up. 2-1. 2-1 pitch, the curveball. Ooh, Wanderson's eyes grew as that curveball was hung a little bit, but he swung through it. 2-2. Hughie on deck, then the top of the order for UMass Boston. 2-2 pitch, line to left field. Coming back, then coming in, and letting it drop is Springfield. So a poorly played positioning there for Springfield. He probably should have had that ball, but he didn't want to let it get behind him, especially with Wanderson Pinales' aggressiveness and speed. So it's a leadoff base hit, and Pinales has now reached base all 5 times he's batted in this doubleheader. He's got 4 hits, 3 singles, and a hit by pitch. Here's Hughie looking to bunt. Charlie, as this one's high and in, and that's a beautiful play. As Brandon Heath threw it above the head of Hughie. He had to duck out of the way for dear life, and then Rossi guns down Pinales, who was stealing on the play. I mentioned his aggressiveness. Sometimes it comes back to bite him. They were bunting. There wasn't really any reason for him to steal. One-0 is on the outside corner, 1-1. So 1 down now, nobody on here in the third. Springfield bailed out a little bit for the lackadaisical play in left field as the 1-1 is up, 2-1. Wind up, 2-1 from Heath, and that one is launched into left center field. On his horse and ranging over to make the play is the center fielder, Sevigny. 2 down here in inning number 3.
The third baseman, number 3, Eddie Riley.
Eddie Riley is in with 2 down. First pitch is low, 1-0. Riley 0 for 1. He struck out swinging on a 3-2 fastball to end the first at bat of this game. 1-0 on the inside corner, 1-1. Another fastball hits the plate, and it's 1-2 to Riley. Trying to avoid striking out for the second time against the pitcher who had 11 strikeouts in 30 innings coming in. The 1-2. Just getting a piece of that one off the screen. Staying alive is Eddie Riley. From the windup, he's 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. So Riley strikes out for the second time in this game. The third strikeout for Heath. We head to the 4th inning. Still no score here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
I'm the first undergraduate alumnus to lead this university. I'm very proud of that. I was literally able to transform my life because of the University of Massachusetts, and I want that for every single student that walks through the door.
It's going to be 6, 7, and 8 to begin inning number 4 for Fernando Burgos. Welcome back to the Beacons Broadcasting Network. There's Fernando. He has gotten himself in and out of trouble today quite a few times through the first 3 innings. In the first, he gave up a 1-out single that advanced over to second on a ground out, but was able to get out by retiring Granger on a flyout. In the second, 1-out single and followed by a walk put 2 men on base. In fact, runners at the corners after a pass ball, and yet a 5-4-3 double play off the bat of Longley retired the side. And finally, last inning, the bases were loaded with 2 outs for Borgier, who grounded out to first base to retire the side. So despite some of the command issues early on for Fernando, we'll see if he can settle down as the game remains tied. Here is Savigny, first pitch to David outside. Savigny had a 1-out single in the second inning. He was then stranded at third. 1-0. Missed a little bit low. 2-0. No runs on 4 hits so far for the Owls. 2-0. 2-1 now. That one hits the outside corner. 2-1. Slap foul out of play. During Wednesday's game, Seth Orensky and I were talking about some of the more or less intimidating baseball or college mascots. Beacons, I suppose we said, were kind of one of them, as that one did hit Savigny on the elbow, I guess. And so another hit batter. That's the second of the game for Burgos. In fact, it's the second in the last 3 batters he's faced. Beacons, a lighthouse isn't really that intimidating. In fact, it's a helpful thing for sailors. An owl, I would say, isn't intimidating either, but if anybody saw the video of the owl picking up the baby and stealing it a couple of weeks ago, I beg to differ. If your baby's, owls are pretty scary. As that one is a slider that cuts over the inside corner for a strike. This is Tyler Gammey. He walked and was stranded on a double play in his first time up. Seth mentioned a California school. That was the Banana Slugs. The 0-1. Fouled off the screen. So banana slugs, to me, is a little scary because those things slithering around. The 0-2 is up and away. Unless you're armed with a little bit of salt, then you're pretty much all set. Of course, Alyssa Fugel, I think, mentioned she once had a banana slug crawling up her leg, which is a nightmare I don't want to relive. The 1-2, that one slapped foul. Fernando looking for his sign, try to get out of this at bat as a pickoff move to first is not in time. It's the University of California, Santa Cruz. That's the banana slug. As that one gets away a little bit, 2-2. McCormick kept it in front of him, though. The Trinity Christian College Trolls. That's an interesting one. University of Arkansas Monticello Bull Weevils, which are tiny beetles, evidently. This one grounded to third. Riley gobbles it up, goes to second for one. Not going to get a chance at a double play. They do get the lead runner as Sevigny's retired. Gammy reaches on a 5-4 fielder's choice. One down here in the fourth. Let's see. Concordia College are the Cobbers. That is like a corn cob. We have Western Kentucky Big Red, the Campbell Fighting Camels, and perhaps my favorite, the Scottsdale Community College Fighting Artichokes. Story behind that is that during the 1970s, Scottsdale students were upset that the school spent so much money on athletics. They voted to change the name to the Artichokes, as that one is a ground out to second. Murphy makes the play, 2 down. Advancing over to second is Gammy, and that'll bring up Max Struthers.
The shortstop, number 6, Max Struthers.
Struthers is in. The first pitch is ripped to left field. That's trouble. On its way over. Setzery won't get there, and this will get the Owls on the board. They get their first lead of the doubleheader, and getting gunned down at second base, trying to stretch it into a double with Struthers. The run does score. It's 1-0 Owls, but a great throw in from Setzery in left field guns down Struthers to retire the side. It's 1-0 Owls through 3.5 here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Brandon Heath back out there for the bottom of the fourth inning. It's 1-0 Keene as the RBI single from Max Struthers scores Tyler Gammy. Struthers was thrown out trying to stretch it to second, and the run did indeed score. So 1 run on 5 hits, no errors for the Owls. No runs on 2 hits, no errors for the Beacons. Elsewhere in the Little East Conference, folks, UMass Dartmouth beat WestCon 4-1. It is a final in 10 innings from EastCon. They beat Rhode Island College 13-12 in extras. And so Rhode Island College falls to 5-3. Southern Maine is out on top of Plymouth State 4-0 in Game 2 of the doubleheader. They lost Game 1. So that is a big game for Southern Maine. The Beacons now have a full 3-game lead in the Little East Conference at the moment as Kyle Boudreaux steps in. It's 1-0 to Kyle. 1-0 pitch. Kyle slaps this to the left side. That's a base hit and probably extras. He's going to get to the warning track. Boudreaux is going to cruise into second. And it's a leadoff double for the Beacons' designated hitter. Second double of the afternoon and 2 games combined for Kyle. And third hit. Elsewhere in the LEC, UMass Dartmouth leads WestCon 12-1 in the 4th inning. WestCon's the home team, though this game is being played at Dartmouth. As mentioned, Southern Maine up 4-0 on Plymouth in the 2nd inning. Rhode Island College and EastCon not yet providing any sort of score. That pitch misses outside to Murphy. It's 1-0. Dave is 0 for 1. He struck out swinging to end the 1st inning. Missing low with that one is Heath. It's 1 ball, or 2 balls and no strikes, rather. Man at second is Boudreaux. Nobody out. Here is a 2-0 pitch to Murphy. Curveball right on the outside corner. Good pitch. 2-1. 2-0 curve against Murphy as they continue to refuse to give him any fastballs to loft out of here. Heath working from the stretch. 2-1, and Murphy rips it to center field. Boudreaux has gone halfway. He'll retreat as that ball's flagged down by Sevigny. And Murphy continues to struggle on a line out to center field. He is now 0 for 5 today. Chris Fowler will step on up. Chris has had himself a solid afternoon. Went 2 for 3 with an RBI single in Game 1. He had a double and was stranded in his first at-bat here in Game 2. First pitch to Chris. Breaking pitch way outside and in the dirt. 1-0. Heath from the stretch, a 1-0, way inside, almost hits Fowler, gets away, and that will allow Boudreaux to move 90 feet from tying the game. So a big wild pitch there. As that one bounced up, was blocked smartly by Rossi, but it caromed out about 5 feet in front of the plate, and that allows Boudreaux to come on over. So now the Beacons can score a run and tie the game on a ground ball anywhere but third base, as they're surrendering the run by playing back. Fly ball also probably gets it done. And now they're going to bring the infield in, right after I say it, right on the lip of the grass. So they're going to try to protect the 1-run lead as Chris takes a strike. Not so sure about this against Chris Fowler in the 4th inning of a game you're winning. Because Chris can really rocket them through there, and you just want to get outs at this point. 2-1. Oof, called strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Fowler. But Ken Howell knows what he wants to do. He's been the coach here at Keene for a long, long time. Brandon Heath 2-2 to Chris Fowler in the dirt. Good block from Rossi, and now it's 3-2. The 3-2 pitch. That one's right off the glove of the pitcher, Heath, who will save a run by knocking it down. What a play from Brandon Heath. Protecting himself. Howell will head on out to make sure he's okay. Hit him in the glove, so I don't know how he couldn't be. But it was a beautiful play by Heath, who recovered quickly to throw over to first. And that's 2 down. And a big out number 2 with McCormick on deck. The trainer will head on out just to make sure that everything is copacetic out on the pitcher's mound. And that's exactly what the first baseman is saying. Connor Walsh saying, hit him in the glove. He's okay. So a great play, 1-3 on the putout to get Chris Fowler, and that brings up McCormick. McCormick flew out to left his first time up. He's got that tying run at third base. First pitch on the outside corner. 0-1. Oh, one pitch curveball, lays the left side off the glove of the shortstop. A diving effort out there by Struthers, but Mack could not get the ball, and this is a tie game. An RBI single, and a laced one at that by McCormick the opposite way. We are tied at 1. So the leadoff double from Boudris. The middle of the order, 3 and 4 hitters weren't able to get him home. But he does come home on that base hit, and Cesare steps in, takes that one outside, 1-0. Anthony's 0 for 1. He flew out to right in the second inning. So both teams have put a run across here in the fourth. And we restart as pickoff move is not in time. .1-0 pitch. That one ground to the right side. A base hit for Cesare. McCormick heads up base running. He's heading to third. He gets there. And so runners at the corners now with 2 down for Nick Herzog. So back-to-back singles. One through the left side, one through the right. The Beacons have now 3 hits in the inning against Brandon Heath. Herzog is 0 for 1, grounded out to shortstop to end the second. First pitch is breaking pitch in the dirt, 1-0. Heath steps off the rubber, wants to get a new set of signs from the backstop, Rossi. .1-0 pitch is right down the middle, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch from Heath, breaking ball, ground to the left side. Play made there at third, fired over to second by Granger to retire the side. So the Beacons do get a run. They do so on the benefit of 3 hits and 1 man left on base. We head to the 5th inning. It's 1-1, Beacons and the Owls.
Cheer for the stumbles. The he should have had that. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
Fernando Burgos back out for his 5th inning as the starter. Gave up a run last inning, but his team has picked him up. So far through 4 innings, both teams have 1 run on 5 hits. Neither team has an error. The softball team lost game 1 to Dartmouth 5-3. They are out on top of the Corsairs 2-0 in the second inning of game 2. Drew Washington on the mound for that one. RBIs by Tori DeCenzo and Taylor Paulina. In the second inning, have the Beacons on top by a couple of runs. Elsewhere today, the lacrosse team lost 20-10 to Keene State. Track and field is in the midst of a tournament today, and the tennis team is taking on Dartmouth today as well. In the LEC scoreboard, Plymouth State beat Southern Maine 7-2. in Game 1 of their doubleheader. Southern Maine leads 4-0 in Game 2. So the Beacons with a 3-game lead on the Huskies and the Anchormen, as Devin Springfield steps in to lead things off here in inning number 5. Springfield is 0 for 2. He flew out to left and flew out to center. That one was low. It's 1-0. One-0 pitch. That one is low and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Springfield, who came in leading the team in hitting, but has no hits in 6 at-bats. 3-0 now to Devin Springfield, the left fielder. And a 4-pitch walk to lead things off here in the 5th. That is now the 2nd straight inning with a leadoff base runner. Burgos hit Sevigny to begin the 4th. He's given up at least 1 base runner in every inning so far, and the backstop, McCormick, as well as Hughie and Riley, head on out to the mound to discuss things with him. You may see a potential bunt situation here they may be talking about with the heart of the order coming on up, but Rossi is a capable hitter as well. Came in 3rd on the team among qualifiers, hitting .316. Fernando again from the stretch. First pitch, and Rossi does square around, but the breaking pitch misses. It's 1-0. Amazing, Fernando's only given up the 1 run. This has not been one of his finer starts this year. His command has been hit and miss as the 1-0 pitch is bunted right back to the mound. Fernando's only plays to first, makes the play to Fowler. So it's a sacrifice. 1-3 on the putout. Advancing to second is Springfield with 1 down for Connor Walsh. Walsh is 1 for 2. He singled and was stranded in the 3rd. He also grounded out to short in the 1st. Native of Goffstown, New Hampshire. First pitch is breaking ball, and that is a called strike. Owls have not recorded a sweep in the regular season of the Beacons since 2013. That trend will continue as that misses up and in, 1-1. Their last victory over UMass came 4 years ago, April 2014. They beat them 5-1 at Campanelli Stadium in Brockton. That's how long it's been. As that one is low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Owls coming off of a 9-5 win over New England College yesterday before losing 3-1 in Game 1 today. It's 2-1 misses. It's 3-1. Beacons do have action. In fact, they've got looks like maybe only 1 warming up, a right-hander in the bullpen. Like there might have been 2, but just playing some soft toss out there. 3-1. That one's fouled off the screen. It's full to Connor Walsh. Beacons have not lost since March 30th. A 5-1 defeat at the hands of Roger Williams. 14 games later, they're still cruising. Trying to win number 15 in a row here in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Keene State, meanwhile, has won just 3 games since April 7th. Here's the 3-2 coming. And that's low for ball 4. And so it's the second walk of the inning. And it puts 2 men on base with only 1 out for Abe Granger. Granger's 0 for 1. He popped out in the first inning and was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. And now we will have a meeting on the mound. Pitching coach heading on out to discuss things with Fernando. Runners at first and second, one out. Burgos gave up a single in the first, a single and a walk in the second, a single and a hit by pitch in the third, and a hit by pitch in the fourth. And the only time a runner scored was in the fourth. Hit by pitch followed by a single, in fact, in that fourth inning, as Struthers brought in the run with the base hit, then was thrown out at second to end the inning. From the stretch, first pitch to Granger is low and away, 1-0. Right-hander readies, 1-0. Way outside again, it's 2 balls and no strikes from Burgos, and this might be Fernando's last batter of the afternoon, depending on what happens. They've had action in the bullpen for a while. Two-oh pitch, and it's now 3-0. Runner at second is Springfield. The runner at first is Walsh. 3-0 count now to Granger with only one out here in the fifth inning. That's right there for a strike. Granger had taken a step to first base. That's a no-no. 3 balls and 1 strike. Three-one. Ground ball to third. Riley takes it. It's a second for one. Over to first, and no throw as a good slide broke it up. Murphy was unable to make the throw. So it's the second out on a 5-4 fielder's choice. Retired is Walsh. Over to third is Springfield. Granger at first, and Christian Bourgier is the batter.
Number 7, Christian Bourgier.
I believe the pitcher warming up is Mike Doherty. It's either Doherty or Monroe. 30 or 39. Either way, trying to just get out of this inning unscathed. They'll give Burgos another at-bat because of the ground out, as that one misses low. Bourgier today is 0 for 2. He grounded out to first his first 2 times up. One-0 pitch. That one's launched into right field, but playable. Herzog coming on in and makes the play. And somehow, some way, Fernando Burgos is walking the tightrope as he gets out of the 5th inning without giving up the lead. The Owls score no runs on no hits and strand 2 men on base. We head to the bottom of the 5th. It's 1-1, Owls and the Beacons.
Moving from Turkey, it was a rough journey for me because when you don't really speak the language that well and when you don't really fit in the crowd, it's very easy to disappear. But I decided not to give up, and UMass helped me.
We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. A 1-1 game. Both teams have 5 hits. Let's take a look at what's coming up for the Beacons. Their upcoming schedule. as they'll be at Southern Maine on Tuesday for an afternoon affair before coming home on Wednesday, non-conference battle against St. Joe's. And then on Saturday at Plymouth State for a doubleheader in the LEC. Wanderson Pinales leads things off here in inning number 5. Pinales has been on base every time he's been up in this doubleheader. He singled to lead off the third in game 2, but then was caught stealing. That one is launched deep to center field. That's trouble. That one drops over the head of Sevigny. Pinales has got speed to burn, and the sprinter will head on into third with a leadoff triple. Pinales points towards the dugout in celebration as he has now reached base all 6 times he's been up in this doubleheader. He's got a single, in fact, 3 singles, a double, a triple, and he was hit by a pitch. He has been absolutely outstanding out of the 8-hole, and now Charlie Hughie will step on in with a chance to drive him home. Beacon's trying to take the lead. The infield is in. And that's grounded to second base. Bourgier gobbles it up, fires to first, and that is an unproductive out number 1. 4-3. Eddie Riley steps in. He's had a rough go against Heath. Heath came in with just 11 strikeouts on the season. He struck Eddie out twice, both swinging, and now we get a timeout. As they're going to go out and discuss what they want to do here with Riley. They could walk him to try to set up the double play, but that's dangerous with the guys who are coming up. Boudris laced a double his last time up, and with Murphy and Fowler, you never know what you're going to get when you're pitching against them. So they're still discussing it on the mound, how they want to attack Riley here. Eddie, in game 1, was 0 for 3 with a walk, and now he's 0 for 2 here in game 2. So there's an argument that he's due. Beacons just need a fly ball here to likely get a run home with Pinales' speed. But with the infield in, they had a ground ball with Charlie Hughie that did not deliver. Heath gets his sign. First pitch to Eddie. In the dirt, 1-0. Pitch to Riley. Breaking ball low. 2 balls and no strikes. From Brandon Heath to Eddie Riley. Infield remains in. The exception of third base, even with the bag. Here's the 2-0. 3 balls and no strikes. And we'll see what they decide to do here. They won't come right after Eddie, give him a pitch to hit. With the Beacons' best hitters coming up. Here's the 3-0. And Eddie with the green light on 3-0, knowing he can drive in a run with anything to the outfield. Fouls that one up the third base line. It's 3-1. From the stretch. 3-1 pitch. Breaking ball hits the inside corner. Eddie didn't like it, but now he's facing a 3-2 count. Trying to avoid the hat trick of 3 strikeouts here in his first 3 at-bats. The payoff pitch. Breaking ball, never broken, it hits him. And Eddie favoring his back a little, but he's okay, and now runners will be at the corners with only 1 out. A lot of hit batters today. You expect that on a cold, wet day, not on a warm, dry day, but right now, the Beacons see Kyle Boudris with an opportunity to drive in a run. Now Eddie steps off of first base. I wonder if he's okay. Pinales will head on over. They'll discuss a few things with the base runners. And the umpire's going to get involved as well. Regardless of what they decide to do in the meeting on the right side, as you see on your screen, between Pinales, Boudris, Agabrot, and Riley, Boudris will be the batter. The runners are at the corners. One down in a 1-1 game here in the fifth. A huge at-bat here for Kyle Boudris, and a huge at-bat for the pitcher, Brandon Heath. They'll set up in double play depth up the middle. They'll guard the lines on both cornerbags. And now moving a little bit off of the third base bag is Granger. Still a few feet over from where he typically would be. Here is the first pitch coming to Kyle, and an off-speed pitch up and away. It's 1-0. Now you may see Eddie Riley break for second here. He has 5 steals on 6 attempts this year, and the teams in this league love to tempt those catchers with the throw, especially with Wanderson at third, and Wanderson would be off with the throw, you would think, which is why I also think they wouldn't make a throw, which is why Eddie wouldn't be too foolish to try to steal it. Avoid the double play. Here's a 2-0. Instead, Kyle lifts it to left field. That'll get the job done. Springfield coming on in. At least I think it will. It's a solid throw, but it's up the line. And Pinales has way too good a speed to get him. And so the Beacons have taken the lead on a sacrifice fly from Kyle Boudris, who has been outstanding in this doubleheader. It is an RBI for Kyle. And that is RBI number 25. Now ties him for third with Ryan McCormick. Actually coming into play. McCormick now is 26, so he's fourth. Fly out to left, and that brings up Murphy. There goes Riley now. The throw bounces and gets away. Riley is going to head for third, and running on out there to get there is Struthers. Riley is held up at third. And if Struthers didn't go out there and the center fielder Sevigny had to get it, Riley might have been able to come all the way home. But nonetheless, it's an error on the catcher as that throw was behind Eddie Riley sliding into second. And now the insurance run is 90 feet away for Murphy. Here's a 1-0. Breaking ball high. 2 balls and no strikes. Heath from the stretch, 2-0, curveball way up and in. It's 3-0 with Fowler on deck. Right-handed action is warming for Keene State in their bullpen. And they're going to intentionally walk Murphy on 3-0, not even give him anything to hit. So Dave is put aboard. It is his second time reaching base in this doubleheader. The first time was on a hit by pitch. Runners at the corners now. And that will bring up Chris Fowler. Fowler here in game 2 is 1 for 2. He doubled and grounded out back to the mound. First pitch is high, 1-0. Excuse me, they called that a strike? Wow. It looked high to me. Chris Fowler agreed. It's 0-1 to Fowler. Pickoff move, just keeping Murphy honest. From the stretch, the 0-1 pitch is up and in, 1-1. It's 2-1 Beacons over Keene State, trying to complete a sweep of the doubleheader, win their 15th straight game. Heath steps off the rubber, adjusts his spikes, and steps back on. Runners at the corners. Here's a 1-1. Fowler takes it in. 2 balls and 1 strike. There's a 2-1 coming to Fowler from Heath, who's trying to tiptoe himself of any further damage, giving up a run in the 4th and now 1 in the 5th. From the stretch, the 2-1. Chris on the inside corner. Called strike 2. Now, there's confusion because there's 2 strikes because of the umpire's call. The first baseman came all the way in. Connor Walsh hit the emphatic called strike 2. He thought it was strike 3. I kind of thought it too when I was looking down. I was confused whether or not the first pitch was called a ball or a strike. Now the umpire going after the coaching staff who came out to say a few things. We start playing music up here in the booth, and everything has gone haywire. All because the umpire's emphatic strike 2 call. Is only 2 strikes. It's 2-2. The umpire thought there was 3 strikes before realizing it, and half the stadium didn't know what was going on. It's now 2-2 with 2 outs, and stepping off the rubber is Heath with Eddie Riley toying with him at third base. So after the momentary pause, here's a 2-2 pitch. Curveball up and away, 3-2. This inning began with a Pinales triple. Hughie ground out and O'Reilly hit by pitch. RBI fly out from Boudris made it 2-1. Murphy was hit. Here's the 3-2 and a fly ball left field. Springfield got fooled by it. Now has to range all the way in and makes the play on a full sprint. That one not as deep as the left fielder thought, and the inning is now over. We head to the 6th inning, 2-1 Beacons on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
New pitcher for UMass Boston as Chris Monroe will step in. Right-handed reliever is making his 11th appearance, 0-0 with a 3.65. Chris on the year, it's got 1 save, 12 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned, 12 strikeouts, and 6 walks. So Monroe is the first reliever that Eigerbrodt will call on. And he will face 6, 7, and 8, Sevigny, Gammy, and Longley. Monroe, a native of Marshfield, a sophomore, 5'8", 185 pounds. So here's David Sevigny. He's reached base both times he's been up here in Game 2. Singled in the 2nd, hit by a pitch in the 4th.
The center fielder, number 32, Dave Sevigny.
Dave came in hitting just .269. Does have 2 bombs, 16 driven in, and a slugging percentage of .397. First pitch is low and in, 1-0. Monroe's 1-0, swung on and missed on a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Sevigny. That one is a little bit low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Top half of the 6th inning here in Game 2. One misses low and in, 3-1. Big hack there on a fastball up and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Sevigny to lead off the 6th. From the stretch, the 3-2 pitch, and that one is skied out of play. Up the first base line, it remains 3-2. Three-two misses high with a fastball, so a leadoff walk coming out of the bullpen. That's a no-no. And that'll bring up Tyler Gammy. Gammy walked in the second, reached and scored after fielder's choice in the 4th. And that is the 4th consecutive inning the leadoff hitter has reached for Keene. And 3rd consecutive inning, they did it without a hit. They had a single in the 3rd, a hit by pitch in the 4th, walk in the 5th, and now walk in the 6th. They square around a bunt. There goes Sevigny. The throw's not in time. He got a great jump on Monroe. And the tying run is now in scoring position after a 6th inning stolen base from David Sevigny. So this is Gammy with the count 1-0. Right-handed hitter. Tyler, a native of Newington, Connecticut, and a freshman. Monroe takes a peek back at Sevigny. The 1-0 curveball's inside. 2-0. So Monroe struggling to throw strikes here early on in his outing. Walk to Sevigny, now 2-0 count. Ground ball to 3rd. Riley bobbles it, recovers across the diamond in order to retire Gammy. The runner stays put at second base, and so 1 down, 5-3 on the putout. That'll bring up Connor Longley. Longley in Game 2 is 0 for 2, grounded into a double play and grounded out to second. First pitch to Longley, breaking pitch in the dirt, 1-0. One-0 pitch, breaking ball right down the middle, evened up 1-1. One pitch, and that one's skied to center field. Pinales got fooled a little bit, but he's got the speed to get back. Makes the play, and then fires it in, tagging up and advancing, and almost taking a chinner right on the turf there. Was the base runner Sevigny. That's the 2nd out of the inning. Runner advances over to 3rd base, and that brings up Struthers. Mack is 2 for 2. RBI single in the 4th inning, also singled in the 3rd. First pitch is inside. Struthers turns away from it. It's 1-0. One-0 pitch, breaking ball right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner at third base is the tying run in a 2-1 Beacons lead. And right in on the hand, swinging over it there was Struthers. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the Beacons 1 strike away from getting out of the 6th inning with the lead after a leadoff walk. The 1-2, breaking ball right off of him as he fouls it off of his, looked like his arm. It's 1-2. Beacons do have action in the pen. That, I believe, is Doherty. 1-2, breaking ball, swung on and missed. He struck him out. So Monroe comes in, gives up a leadoff walk, and then gets himself out of any further trouble. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Still 2-1, UMass Boston.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
New pitcher on the mound for the Owls as Connor Johnson, the 6-foot right-hander from Windsor, Connecticut, will make his first appearance of the doubleheader. Johnson on the season 1-0 with a 2.61. And this will be his 8th appearance, 10 1/3 innings, 12 hits, 3 earned runs, 11 Ks, and 5 walks. Let's take a look at the Little East Conference scoreboard. A lot of action going on across the region. As you see there, UMass Dartmouth is on their way, I believe, to a sweep of WestCon. Last time I checked on Game 2, they were up. They won Game 1 4-1. Elsewhere, Plymouth State and Southern Maine may be splitting their doubleheader. Plymouth with the upset in Game 1 over the 22nd-ranked Huskies. Southern Maine leading 4-1 in the 4th in Game 2. And Rhode Island College lost a thriller to EastCon 13-12 in extra innings of Game 1 of their doubleheader. Ryan McCormick will lead things off for UMass as Ryan steps in. He's 1 for 2, RBI single and a flyout. McCormick laces this one to left. Springfield is right there, makes the play. 1 pitch, 1 out for Connor Johnson. So Cesare steps in. Anthony had a single in his last at bat. Takes a mighty hack at a fastball. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Grounded to second base. Bourgier on 2 hops fires over to first. 4-3, 2 down. Probably see Mike Doherty for the Beacons next inning. He was the one warming up in the pen, still standing there. First pitch to Nick Herzog is away, 1-0. Nick today is 0 for 2. A couple of ground outs, both to the left side. Both very close plays, in fact. The last one to end the 4th inning was bang, bang, and if he had been called safe, I don't know how much of an argument you would have gotten, and it would have given the Beacons another run. Johnson from the stretch. Here's a 1-0 pitch, and that's high, 2-0. Two-0 pitch, misses outside. Now 3-0 to Herzog with 2 outs and nobody on. Pinales, who has been red hot today, is on deck. 3-0. Not even close. Ball 4. And so, a 4-pitch walk to Herzog will give Pinales another chance to hit here. He is 2 for 2 in Game 2. He was 3 for 3 in Game 1. Also been hit by a pitch in the doubleheader. He had a triple and scored his last time up.
The center fielder, number 13, Wanderson Pinales.
All he needs is a home run to get the cycle over the 2 games. First pitch is a breaking ball, not even close, 1-0. Pickoff move not in time. Herzog dives back. Nick's got good wheels and likes to utilize them. With 2 outs, he may try to take second base and get in scoring position here. Still just 2-1. 1-0, there he goes, and a foul ball back behind home plate. 1 ball and 1 strike, and Herzog has no idea what happened. Now he's got to be told and head back. Johnson ready, takes a peek over, now comes home. Herzog faked stealing. That ball missed outside. It's 2-1 to Wanderson Pinales. In the dirt, and Herzog decides to take off, and he's going to get there. Heads up base running from Nick Herzog, who goes after the ball was dropped on the bounce. And he steals second, although a delayed steal for sure. It's 3-1. So now the insurance run is 180 feet away. And a 3-1 pitch coming to Pinales. Breaking ball. Just finds the plate. 3-2 to the Beacons center fielder. And, they got him picked off. Herzog got greedy, and Johnson alertly picks him off. Not sure what he's doing trying to steal third on a 3-2 pitch with no one at first base, but that is a question for another day. We head to the 7th inning, still 2-1 UMass Boston.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
Chris Monroe actually staying out here for his second inning of relief work. Now, we also do have a couple of defensive changes. Jack Harrington has come in behind the dish, much as he did late in Game 1. As that one is launched. Deep right center field. Pinales on the run. He's got a beat on it. Makes the play in front of the warning track to retire Devin Springfield. Fly out to right field. Yes, Wanderson Pinales is now in right field. That's because Sal Frascino is in center field. Speedy center fielder. Moving over from right to left is Herzog, and Cesare is out of the game. One down, and that brings up Nate Rossi. Rossi's 1 for 2. He's singled, struck out, and sacrificed. Breaking ball right down Broadway, 0-1. Oh, 1 from Monroe. That one's up and in. 1-1 to Rossi. Walsh is on deck. Ranger in the hole, should anyone reach. One pitch. Ground ball to shortstop. Hugie to his left. Charlie fires in time to retire Rossi. 6-3, 2 down.
The first baseman, number 48, Connor Walsh.
Beacons here in the top of the 7th inning, trying to get their 15th consecutive victory. That one missed in. It's 1-0 to Walsh. And Walsh launches a mile-high fly deep left field. Herzog on the warning track has room to make the play. And Walsh just barely missed tying this game. We are through 6.5 stretch time from Monin Park. It's still 2-1 UMass Boston on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school. But every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
New pitcher on the mound, as it'll be the right-hander Andrew Howd for the Owls of Keene State. Howd on the year, 3-2. This is his 8th appearance. In fact, he's a starter. All 7 of his appearances are starts. 3-2 with a 4.82, 46 2/3, 53 hits, 25 earned runs, 32 strikeouts, 12 walks. He's given up a team-leading 18 doubles. Holy cow. Now, granted, he's faced the most batters. He's pitched the most innings. He is their guy. Their number one starter, if you will. He's struggled a bit this year, but he's made the most starts, the most innings, the most batters faced, and he's allowed the most hits. But he is out here out of the pen, mercifully trying to keep this at a one-run game, as the Beacons will send out Wanderson Pinales. Wanderson's in right field now. He was at the dish when Nick Herzog was caught stealing third to end the 6th inning. So Howd from the windup. First pitch to Wanderson, breaking ball. He lifts that out of play up the first base line. It's 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch is another curveball. Missed up. 1-1. One from Howd. Big hack at a fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wind up and the 1-2 pitch. Foul tipped. Back off the screen. It remains 1-2 to Wanderson Pinales. Swung on and missed on a 1-2 heater, and Howd retires Wanderson for the first out. That is the first time in the doubleheader that Pinales has been retired. And it brings up Charlie Hugie. Hugie is 0 for 2, flew out and grounded out.
The shortstop, number 29, Charlie Hugie.
After a momentary timeout, the battery mates are ready. Howd gets his sign. Right-hander's first pitch misses away. 1-0. Only 6 more defensive outs sitting between the Beacons and their 15th straight win. Program record as the 1-0 is on the outside corner, 1-1. Charlie fouls that one up the first base line. Out of play, it's 1-2. From the windup, Howd's 1-2 pitch. That one is fouled off again. Remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. I think we're critiquing the high school lacrosse uniforms over there. Looks like Notre Dame. Notre Dame versus BC. Perfect matchup. BC high right behind UMass Boston as that one's laced into right field for a Charlie Hugie base hit. So Charlie gets his second hit of the doubleheader, first of game 2. He's 1 for 3. And it looks like BC High just lost. Tragic. My thought exactly, Anthony Searles. 2 lacrosse games have been completed before we've gotten through the 7th inning of Game 2 here in the doubleheader. And we're still here. You know why? Because baseball's all about endurance. And, you know, the thing about it is, Anthony says this now, but there's been, 30, 40 times in your UMass career you caught 18 innings? Can't tell me that wasn't brutal. Not on your knees. Riley pulls back the bunt, takes a strike. It's 0-1. There's an 0-1 coming to Eddie Riley as the base runner Hugie. We already seen today Charlie's propensity for stealing bases. There he goes, and this time he's safe at second after being caught stealing in game 1. For Charlie, That is another successful stolen base attempt. And that is number 12 to lead the team. He's now jumped over Nick Herzog, who tied him up last inning. Herzog was then caught stealing at third after getting a little greedy. We'll see if Charlie's learned from his teammates' mistakes. There's one down. Beacons have that insurance run, since they're only leading by the 1 run, in scoring position for Riley. Eddie, cue shot off the plate. It's 1-2. Riley back in, Howd back on the rubber, working from the stretch. Takes a peek back at Charlie. Now comes home, 1-2. Ground ball, right side, base hit. This should score the run. Yugi will motor his way home. Heading on to second, Riley. He is dead to rights. As for the second time in this game, Beacon's trying to stretch an extra base on a throw. They get thrown out, but the insurance run scores. There's 2 down now, and it's 3-1, UMass Boston. That is an RBI for Riley. And for Eddie, that is RBI number 26. So he is third on the team behind Fowler and Murphy. Here's Kyle Boudris. Had himself a fine afternoon. The 0-1 misses. It's 1-1. Kyle is 1 for 3 in game 2. He doubled in the 4th and scored. Beacons now leading 3-1 as they will look to sweep the doubleheader. Back to shortstop. Gobbled up out there by Struthers. Mack fires across, and the inning is over. So UMass Boston gets an insurance run. They do so on 2 hits and don't strand anybody. We head to the 8th, 6 outs away from a 15th consecutive win and a 9-0 LEC record. It's 3-1 UMass Boston.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity. There's a lot of people. Here there's a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, so it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
Mike Doherty is the new pitcher for UMass Boston, coming in 2-0 with a 3.52 ERA. On the year, Mike is making his 10th appearance. 15 1/3 innings, 11 hits, 6 earned runs, 11 strikeouts, 3 walks. Doherty will have the honors of facing off against Granger, Borgier, and Sevigny. I'm getting blinded by cell phones. Reflection of the sun. I wish we were in the sun. I'd open a window, but Alyssa would complain. She's always cold. Oh, last time you turned the heat up. I don't even know how to open it. I guess probably need to unlock it. Oh, it's way up there. I'm not doing that. Way too much effort. I'm John Scudris. I've been with you all day. We've played 16 innings so far. On our way to our 17th. Seth Orensky is at softball. And so it's been a solo effort this afternoon. With the exception of the merry men and women here in the booth who have lived the dream with me. Wow, Alyssa, thank you so much. She's opening the window. Who says that millennials are lazy? Oh, boy. And then all the papers fly everywhere. Not well thought out, but I definitely like it. No, I liked it. That's fine. This is what happens when there's no adults. There's no rules. Doherty in now to face Granger. It's 0-1. A little low, 1-1. It's Granger, Bourgier, and Sevigny here in the 8th inning. Anyone reaches, it'll be Tyler Gammy due up. The 1-1. Now it's a nice breaking ball, 1-2. Underestimated the wind. This looks like you're in like a photo shoot right now with the way your hair's blowing. Here's the 1-2 coming from Doherty. On the inside corner, called strike 3. Doherty is arguing now, saying it's inside. And Doherty better watch out. Not often you see guys arguing with umpires. He pointed down with the bat, showing it was in his batter's box. That call's been a strike all day. Did you just join us? If you did, you missed a good one, Abe Granger, because right now you are 0 for 3. Here is Bourgier, who's also 0 for 3. Ground out, fly out. Too cold. Changed my mind. Here's the 0-1. Way out in front of it was Bourgier. It's 0-2. Doherty from the stretch, the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Bourgier goes down swinging. And there's 2 down here in the 8th inning. So Doherty doing a good job out of the pen. Getting 2 quick outs on strikeouts. And now David Sevigny will step on in. Sevigny pops this one up. Foul territory. Fowler's probably not going to have room. And there's a strike. 0-1. Doherty ready to go. Here's the 0-1. Sevigny takes a curved ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. This game too has been really rather quick. We're approaching the 2-hour mark. Typically with these games, 2.5 to 3 hours you're expecting, but depending on what the Beacons do in the bottom of the 8th inning, and of course if the pitching can shut it down, we could be out of this one within 2 hours, 15 minutes, 2 hours, 20, as that one is fouled up and out of play. Of course, if I did jinx it, we're going to extra innings for a marathon 18-inning affair. Yeah, we would definitely have to order some pizza if that's the case. Here's the 2-2. Popped up. That is going to get out of play. Staying 2-2. So Sevigny back in the right-handed batter's box. Doherty gets his sign. They'll set up inside. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Fastball misses. 3-2. Beacons scoring their runs in the 4th, 5th, and 7th. Keene scoring their only run in the 4th. Here's the 3-2. Popped up. No, it's not going to be playable again. It's going to reach the seats, I think. No, Harrington has it. It trails back with the wind, and Harrington will make the play to retire the side. We are through 7.5 from Monin Park. 3-1 UMass Boston.
People at UMass Boston, they're here because they know they can have an impact. not just on research, but on people, on their students.
This is just a starting point. It only has potential to grow, and it has a big potential to grow up.
You're really having a direct impact on people's lives, and you can see that now, and you can see that years from now.
So I think it's becoming like the place that people want to go.
What UMass Boston is able to offer to its young people certainly stands out to that mission that was set right out in the beginning. It's something UMass Boston should be and can be very proud about.
Tyler Fitzgerald is the new pitcher for Keene State, 3-1 with a 2.70. He leads the team in appearances. This will be his team leading 14th. He's got 2 saves, also leads the team. 23 and a third innings, 22 hits, 10 runs, 7 of them earned, 18 strikeouts, 6 walks. Opponents hitting .244 against Tyler Fitzgerald. Beacons will counter with 3-4-5, beginning with Murphy, Fowler, and Harrington, who entered last inning for McCormick. 1 run on 5 hits with 1 error for Keene. 3 runs on 8 hits, no errors for the Beacons. Beacons have done a heck of a job recently fielding the baseball, not committing a lot of errors, and with it, winning games. They are on their way, perhaps, to their 15th consecutive win. Some sad news today from the world of pop culture as Vern Troyer, who played Mini-Me in the Austin Powers films, died today at the age of 49. Murphy is the leadoff hitter here in the 8th inning. First pitch breaks down and in for a strike, 0-1. That one missed. It's 1-1. Another fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two balls and 2 strikes now to Dave Murphy. As Murph is jammed there, his skies one still, able to muscle it out to center field, but 70's in his tracks to make the play. That's 1 down here in the 8th inning, and it'll bring up Fowler. Fowler is 1 for 3, a double, a ground out, and a flyout. Fowler takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Pitch outside, 2 balls and no strikes to the Beacons' leading run producer, Chris Fowler. That one cuts over the heart of the plate, 2-1. That one on the inside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Up and away. 3-2 now to Fowler. Payoff pitch, and Fowler rips it to left field. That's in fair territory and deep. On the horse is Springfield. He won't get there. It's off the wall. Fowler motoring into second just in time. A sliding double. That is the second double of the game for Chris Fowler. And he's a 1-out base runner for Harrington. 0-1 pitch coming. That one's a little high, 1-1. Fowler at second base, one down. Fitzgerald. And time is called behind the dish. One pitch, not even close. Outside, 2-1. Harrington back in as the Beacons trying to get another insurance run here, up by 2. 2-1. Up and away, 3 balls and 1 strike. Fitzgerald readies. 3-1 pitch. And ground ball first base. Gobbled up there by the first baseman. And taking it over to the bag is Connor Walsh. 2 down. Two down, and it'll bring up Sal Frascino, making his first at-bat of the game. Sal is coming into play today, hitting 185 with 11 driven in. Did have a walk-off base hit in extra innings against Southern Maine on Tuesday. Takes that one high, 1-0. One is laced foul off the screen. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. From the stretch, the 1-1. That's high. 2-1. Two-one pitch off the plate. 3-1. Yeah. Here's the 3-1 coming to Sal Frascino. Enlightened conversation in the booth. Your favorite Disney princesses. 3-1 is up and in for ball 4. So Sal Frascino has worked a walk. Runners at the corners. And Brendan Eigerbrod is going to be making a move here. It's like Joey Rogers is going to grab a bat. So Joey is going to bat probably here for Herzog, and we're going to have a double switch of sorts, but Joey Rogers is the one who's stepping in. Runners at the corners, 2 down. So after Eigerbrod comes in and makes a move with Rogers, they're going to go out and discuss things here with Fitzgerald. Beacons do have somebody warming in the bullpen for the 9th. Right now they're trying to get some runs to put some cushion between themselves and the Owls. After the meeting on the mound, we are ready to go. Joey Rogers is the batter. Tyler Fitzgerald the pitcher. The runner at third base is Fowler. The runner at first is Frascino. Plenty of speed out there. 2 down for Joey Rogers. First pitch is right there, 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch outside. Fitzgerald couldn't hit. One ball and 1 strike. Beacons trying to extend their lead. They lead by 2, bottom of the 8th inning. From the stretch, the 1-1, not even close. 1 strike, 2 balls here as we try to see the Beacons through to a victory. Ground ball back to shortstop. Struthers takes it and runs over to second to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We head to the 9th inning. Last chance for romance for these Owls to avoid a doubleheader sweep. It's 3-1 UMass Boston. Mike Doherty stays out there. Danny Brown's in left field. Joey Rogers no longer in the game. Pinales in right. Frascino in center. Tyler Gammey's the batter as the Beacons will try to end this game. From the stretch. On the outside corner. 1 strike to Gammey. It's 1-1, if I'm not mistaken. The 0-1. Ground ball to the right side. Gobbled up there at second. Murphy throws over, and there's 1 down here in the 9th inning. And that will bring up Connor Longley. Longley in game 2 is 0 for 3. First pitch to Connor, swung on and missed, 0-1. The 0-1 from Doherty. Ground ball right side. Fowler, nice backhand. He'll take it to the mag himself. And we are 1 out away from the 15th consecutive UMass Boston win. As they will have to toil with Max Struthers, who's had probably the most productive offensive day of any Owl. He's 2 for 3 with 2 singles and an RBI. The first pitch to Max on the corner for a strike, 0-1. The win would go to Fernando Burgos. It improved to 7-0. There's the 0-1. Grounded to shortstop. Hugie across the diamond, and the ball game is over as UMass Boston completes a 2-game doubleheader sweep of their rivals from Keene, New Hampshire. The final score, the Beacons 3, the Keene State Owls 1. UMass Boston has won 15 consecutive games, a program record. They have beaten Keene State 8 consecutive times, and with the win, Fernando Burgos is now a perfect 7-0 in 8 starts in 2018. The loss, meanwhile, goes to Brandon Heath, his first of the year. He falls to 4-1. UMass Boston wins it by the final of 3-1. 3 runs on 9 hits, no errors. For Keene, 1 run on 5 hits, 1 error. As always, I'd like to thank the broadcasting crew and production staff who made this broadcast possible. Our producer, Seth Arensky, our directors, Anthony Searles and Alyssa Fusial. On Instant Replay, Anthony Searles. Our camera operators, Marcelo Cunha, Sarah King, Maddie Byrne, Edie Moritz, and Jane Morissette. For everyone involved, I'm John Scudris. Thank you for tuning in to the Beacons Broadcasting Network. It's been a long day, but the Beacons made it worthwhile. They win them both 15 in a row and are well on their way to the Little East Conference regular season championship. Until next time, good night, good luck, and good baseball. We'll see you right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.